Hey everyone, welcome to SP Motorsports. Today we are here to talk about this beautiful 987 GT3R build that we made for endurance racing. So for this build, let's start with the engine. So back over here, we have the intake going into this 4.1 liter built by Slacker. They were a huge partner in this build for us. Completely rebuilt from the ground up using their sleeves, a custom set of pistons and rods. We're also utilizing the Carrera S 3.8 liter crank to stroke it out. On top of that, we did a whole bunch of head work to optimize the intake flow, and along with on the exhaust side, we're running catless headers, race headers from Soul, paired up with the factory exhaust. And on the exhaust side, we did some slight modifications. That's sort of the main heart of it. On top, on the intake side, you can see this is not the factory intake box here. This is a intake box, aftermarket intake box, out from a 997 street car that's got cone filters, and we wanted to run this intake system specifically so that we can optimize intake flow and just intake temperatures as well, which we closely monitor. This way we're not sucking in hot air coming off the brakes and the wheels that typically you would find on a stock car. We're grabbing them higher up, similar to that on the GT4 RSs and GT4 RS Club Sports. We found the intake air temperatures have been much more stable throughout a run session or a whole entire race. So that really kind of helps in terms of performance stability. I mean, overall, the car, in terms of performance wise, we also are running a full Motec ECU standalone. So we're no longer running the factory ECU anymore. This really helped us in terms of engine management and control. We have a ton of aftermarket sensors built onto the car. All that's being logged through a whole Motec chassis system, PDM, and on the dash side, a C127. In terms of logging data, monitoring data, all of that fully optimized there. The whole engine harness has been completely revised. It's a full race harness with mil-spec connectors, DT connectors, race grade sensors. And again, it's just for consistency, review of the data and management. Super important, especially when you're running the car for, 6 to 8 hours at a time, which this car has seen multiple times. Being able to understand what the car is doing at every pit stop and after the race, so that we can prepare the car and optimize performance and longevity on the car, is absolutely critical. And so far, I've been really happy with the performance and longevity of the engine and powertrain, and has not given us any issues. So super happy about that. Performance wise, we typically see about 415 crank horsepower on this car very consistently, and that's at our full race map. This car, especially with the Motec, we actually have multiple maps, adjustable maps for this car, and we can kind of do a walkthrough of the interior. So let's take a look at the interior, the cockpit of this car. So business end, we got a full race cage here, courtesy of TC Design. They've been building cages for us for our race cars for over 10 years now. Only cage I trust. On top of that, you can see over here, we got the button the steering wheel. Let's see if I can pop this off for us and take a look. This thing's got a lot of cool gadgets. It's got a lot of cool features. So over here we have our engine map. Like I was saying, with the Motec, we're able to have 7 adjustable maps from 1 all the way to 8. And with that in mind, 1 being basically a safety limp mode, 2 and 3 and 4 are driver specific or condition specific engine modes. From 5 to 7, we have our fuel save, and then 7 being our full trim, full max power race mode. So really cool feature there, especially for endurance racing, depending on changing conditions, driver conditions, track conditions, anything that's changing. Our engineers at the pit wall can specify different engine maps, fuel save maps, anything that we kind of need to kind of help either give us the best advantage on track or performance for the drivers. We can do that at the touch of a button on this side. Over here is our TC settings. So depending on track conditions, if it's super wet, tire degradation, again, just more changing conditions, we can trim traction control from the steering wheel. Super, super powerful, especially in the rain. I think, you know, being that this car is designed for more amateur drivers, having this ability to kind of give them the confidence that they need to, you know, stay in the race and just, you know, have confidence through corners, exit corners. Traction control is really nice. This car is also running a Bosch M5 Club Sport ABS system, so a full race ABS system. It's got about 12 maps for ABS. It's a fully standalone, which we've hooked up and are running through the Motec system in conjunction with our C125 dash, so we can log ABS engagement at each corner, wheel speed, brake pressures front to rear, things like that. But it's a fully adjustable again with the steering wheel, so really, really nice. Everything that we need in terms of lights or flash or anything is all driver controlled. Radio, pit speed, alarms, toggling through the dashboard, all at the fingertips of the driver. So really important key element here. A lot of stuff coming in towards the center of the car. You see this huge control panel over here. This is the Motec PDM. Basically, anything that needs power programming throughout the whole entire car, whether it could be for wipers to headlights to this chill out system to, you know, anything. It's fully controlled and operated through the Motec PDM. It's super nice and super powerful because, again, for an endurance race car, we're always looking for quick, easy diagnostics and fully programmable functions. This gives us that power to optimize it the way we want to. So really cool stuff here. Example of something that we programmed in this car that is, you know, pretty unique and fun. For example, like our trans pump that operates our trans cooler. We've actually programmed that to look and monitor transmission temperatures. And so when temperatures start to hit a certain level, the trans pump will automatically turn on. You'll see a light come on over here that it's working. And if it starts to get too cold or during a warm-up process, when we're just trying to warm up the gearbox, the trans pump will stay off. Obviously, in case of any issues or emergencies, the driver can manually turn those on. Other than that, you know, our team was able to try to optimize it so the car can understand and know what's happening at what point and do what it needs to do so that the drivers can just focus on driving, racing, and being fast. Another really cool area that we've also done up here is we have a auto blip. So as you can see, this is a 6-speed manual transmission. We didn't necessarily want to go full sequential, just to kind of keep this thing true to the period of a 987. So we maintain the fun aspect of being able to row through the gears yourself in a proper race car. And then down over here, we have a full numeric shifter and shifter cable setup that's hooked up to our factory Cayman gearbox. This whole system, this really provides really good feedback for the drivers. You know, it's super short throw and really precise. Literally feels like you're cocking a shotgun or a rifle. So this is a really good feel. Gearbox side, as I mentioned, it's the stock gearbox. We wanted to maintain the stock 987 6-speed. We looked at gear ratios, we looked at everything. I think for the power band and torque curve of this car, it really kind of keeps us at that really high level. So the car just keeps pulling. So gearing wise, it's fully optimized in that sense. It just sits in that really nice window. Only a few upgrades that we've done gearbox wise. We're running a NPR Pro LSD. NPR has been a great partner with us for a while. Really, really bulletproof gearbox equipment, from gears to differentials, rebuild kits. Their clutches are phenomenal. They last really long, as opposed to some other manufacturers where we're basically rebuilding differentials after a weekend. These things really last a long time and just maintain consistency. It's important, especially when you're running the car for 6 to 8 hours at a time. On top of the gearbox, like as mentioned, we have a gearbox cooler that's fully hooked up and integrated with our Motec system. And again, we have sensors that monitor temperatures completely. And then in terms of clutch and flywheel, we got pretty wild with it. Not too many 987s that I know of are running a full race clutch and flywheel. So we worked with ASCO to kind of build a kit for us that basically gives us a twin plate 7¼ inch racing clutch, super lightweight single mass flywheel. And what we wanted to do was obviously be able to handle the power and torque throughout the stints in a full race, but also have a really snappy acceleration deceleration by reducing the moment of inertia on the rotating assembly. It really kind of creates that lively and just really race car feel in terms of throttle. And so that's really cool. And then we obviously optimize that with a racing hydraulic release bearing from Tilton. So really short little clutch throw here. So, in terms of shift speed and everything, when I drive it, it really reminds me of me being in almost like a mid-engine 996, 997 Cup car, which is super fun. And obviously power-wise, we're right there with the Cup cars. So really cool. This over here is the chill out system. So driver comfort for long stints, super important, especially when we're racing at Thunder Hill during the summertime. Ambient temperatures can easily get up to the 100 to 105. Cabin temperatures you're probably seeing around 115, maybe even up to 125. But chill out's been great. The drivers love it. It really kind of helps keep them cool and not overly exhausted throughout their stints. And in terms of driving performance, keeping the drivers comfortable and sharp is super important. Over here we have our driver radio. So this is the basis of communication between the driver and the crew. They have a button here on the steering wheel, so when they need to communicate, tell us about the car, tell us about track conditions, updates on performance, overall racing communications, all of that's being handled here. Back over here, you can see we have a VBox system. VBox gives us, all the driver telemetry and car telemetry, so we can review that, and also gives the driver coaches something to review and work with the drivers individually in terms of a performance aspect, or as a team aspect, kind of narrowing down performance and driving differentials between multiple drivers. So kind of keeping that performance window of the car and the setup of the car fairly close between all the drivers is really great. And obviously video quality, data quality is really nice, and we've done a ton of installs on those. on not just race cars, but street cars and DE cars as well. Yeah, I mean, other than that, this is basically the business end of the race car. So that's a quick look at Snoopy, our Cayman GT3R build here at SP Motorsports. You've seen the engine, the electronics, and the core systems that make this car work as an endurance platform. But there's still a lot more going on with this build. In part 2, we'll break down suspension, brakes, aero, and overall setup that keeps this car fast and consistent over long race stints.